Vogelsinger. Melissa? I'm going to read because even though I talk a lot, and most of you out there that know me know that I...
Speak up!
Okay, can you hear me now? I'm going to read this because I don't want to forget anything, and I, like some of you may know, have chemo brain sometimes. All right, so I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer when I was 43. And probably much like many of my fellow survivors here today, I had never really considered facing a life-threatening illness. And then one day, when I was getting along with my life quite nicely, I had a doctor look me in the face and say those 3 words: you have cancer. I was asked to speak today because my friends at Moses Cone, I think that I have a good sense of living well beyond cancer. But I really believe that any of you that have survived cancer could stand up here and just tell some really remarkable, incredibly encouraging stories to all of us. When I was in the throes of cancer, I realized that worrying and being fearful were really only going to make the matters worse, and that I really needed to cultivate my courage, that was a time to really buckle down and dig deep with my courage. So I knew I needed to keep my mental focus, and that I had the greatest doctors in the community working with me. So I felt like I was staying very positive, but I really started fearing that I was going to hit a brick wall at some point. My daughter was getting ready to go away to college, which even at a time when you don't have cancer could be a difficult emotional time. Got to switch pages. So I decided I would go to a support group at Moses Cone, really to be proactive. I was afraid I'd hit a wall. So I went in there not needing support, mind you, because I was doing so well. But I went to the support group, and I walked in that night, and it was really life-changing for me. I met 3 women, 1 or 2 of them that are here today, but I won't embarrass them. Well, actually, Louise is standing right there. And when I saw these women who had their health and their hair, and they just were so living such a normal life, that it validated everything that I had truly wanted to believe about cancer, that I could live beyond cancer and have a pretty normal life. So I was so moved by that I have scarcely not attended a support group meeting in the past 3 years since I finished my treatment. I have made so many great friends, and so many of them are here today. Now I'm getting off track of where I was going to talk about. So people ask me all the time, when do you become a cancer survivor? My answer to that is the day you're diagnosed. For months after cancer, you all know this drill. You go to the doctor, you go to radiation, chemo, blood tests, and you're just there all the time. And survivorship is a busy business right away. So Moses Cone didn't ask me to plug their programs today, but I will say that they started a program called FIN, Finding Your New Normal. I saw information over here about it. It's a great way to intercept a patient at the end of their journey of treatment and sort of help them segue into their life beyond cancer. And if you haven't done that, I highly recommend that you do it, as I would highly recommend support groups. I know they have them for all of the various cancers. I'm kind of winging this, sort of winging. Okay, so people ask me are you afraid your cancer will come back? Do you have fear? Well, sure, I do. Of course I have fear, but do I let fear become a huge part of my life? Absolutely not. And I see some of you shaking your heads because you've given up so much of your life already to cancer and treatment and the things that aren't nasty and not fun, that it's a time when you want to live your life. And so that's what we're here to do, is get interested in living. People also ask me, has cancer changed you? And my answer is, well, what about me has cancer not changed? As I speak to you, I know I am among friends, my fellow cancer survivors, and you understand completely when I tell you that I live my life with a definition that really wasn't there before. And that I'm thankful to not only have beaten cancer, but in some ways glad to have had the opportunity to experience, so that I know I have a deep appreciation of what I have now in my life. Okay. So my message really, and she's wrapping me up, is I want you to be the living proof for others that there is life beyond cancer, and that you can go out there and make a difference for somebody that's newly diagnosed, and be the living proof that they can live beyond it. And I want to thank Moses Cone and their staff and everybody for being such an awesome group of people to get through this journey with. Thank you all so much, and thank you. I'm loving celebrating this with you. It's a real honor.
Thank you so much, Melissa. We really appreciate it. Okay, we've come to the end of the ceremony, and what we'd like is if you want to come up front a little bit so that you can see the butterflies be released. This day is about spirit, and butterflies symbolize hope and spirit. So we are releasing them in your honor and in honor of the spirit that you bring to this place.
Watch her open up the box. Hello. There they go.